What is Web 3.0? Everything you need to know. Blockchain has absolutely revolutionized the way we use currency. Something that was so tightly controlled, so centralized, has now become the exact opposite. Now, people are wondering what sort of impact blockchain would have on the internet at large. The internet has gone through a lot of iterations from when the World Wide Web was first launched. We are currently in the second generation of the internet, called Web 2.0. How will blockchain affect Web 3.0? Before we explore Web 3.0, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to never miss one of our awesome videos. History of the web. Initially, the World Wide Web was extremely basic. Websites were bare-boned. There were few design elements you could incorporate into websites like pictures, JPEGs, or GIFs. Websites could not constantly update as they do now. The user experience wasn't great. In-web applications were far and few between, and access to the internet was also extremely limited. Slowly but surely, we managed to reach an era in online technology that we now know as Web 2.0. Soon enough, websites began updating themselves constantly, without even needing an input. Take a look at Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. The comments will update themselves live. This was not possible in the early days of the internet. Websites, in general, became way more interactive, and the internet seemed like it was almost linked together. During the Web 1.0 era, websites were sort of like their own ecosystem. You never really left the website through it. You had to enter a new address to do so. But now, you can start off your web surfing journey on, say, Reddit, and by the end of the day, you might be in a completely different corner of the internet without even leaving the tab. Web 2.0 was dynamic. It was heavily based on user-generated content, it was highly compatible, and most importantly, it was super easy to use. But there were some major downsides to it that people voiced their concerns over. Concerns about Web 2.0. The internet took quite a long time to make the transition from Web 1.0 to 2.0, which wasn't like some sort of software release. It was just a gradual transition that just occurred. There were a few companies that helped make the transition a lot quicker and easier, namely Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. Now, how did these companies influence the internet beyond just having their own websites? Well, you have to understand that these companies are not just popularly used on the internet, they practically control the internet. Google has its services like Google Chrome, the most widely used web browser on the planet. It also controls some of the most popular websites in the world, like Google Search, YouTube, Drive, Google Photos, and it also controls the most popular mobile operating system in the world. Google Ads can be found in every nook and cranny of the internet. Long story short, Google owns a major chunk of the internet, and it's almost impossible to use the web without it. At the same time, companies like Amazon and Microsoft have AWS and Microsoft Azure, and the vast majority of the internet practically runs on those two cloud computing service providers. As a result, the internet has become extremely centralized, even if it may not seem like it. These companies can basically control whatever they want. They can banish websites, they can bully competitors, and they can be targets of massive data leaks. There are additional problems people have with the web in its current iteration. Information leaks, cross-site scripting, phishing, and insufficient anti-automation are all major problems that exist as a result of Web 2.0. So naturally, people are looking forward to the next major phase of the internet, Web 3.0. But what even is Web 3.0? Currently, in 2021, no one really knows what Web 3.0 is, since it's not something that has officially been released yet. Most people have their own versions of what they want Web 3.0 to be like, but the major focus is towards addressing some of the shortcomings that we face in today's web. Decentralization is at the top of the agenda, but how are they planning on doing so? The same way they decentralized currency, the blockchain. Since blockchain is completely decentralized, meaning it can't ever be controlled by a single entity, many people believe it's the platform that websites will be based on in the future. Blockchain is made up of countless blocks of information that have their own unique hash to identify what they are. The chain they create is in chronological order, which is permanent, making it an extremely secure way to make online transactions possible through cryptocurrency. But while blockchain may be perfect for cryptocurrencies, will it really be capable of handling the entire internet? Absolutely. Blockchain is pretty much the basis of Web 3.0. Not only is it capable of hosting websites, due to its decentralized nature, it makes those websites a lot more secure. When hackers try to hack a website, they target the point of control to inflict the most damage. But since a blockchain has no single point of target, there really is nothing for the hackers to even target. Think about it. When was the last time you heard of a blockchain being hacked? Now think of the last time you heard of a website being hacked. It's pretty clear at this point that blockchains are a lot more secure than the current system we are all used to. But it's not just about our own website safety, it's also about making the internet more equal. With Web 3.0, the current cartel of Microsoft, Amazon, and Google would be severely damaged. These companies wouldn't have absolute control over websites anymore. They won't be able to push agendas, bully competition, or censor unpleasant websites anymore. The internet, for the first time, would be in the hands of the users. When the internet will switch over. Now, it's not exactly clear when the transition from 2.0 to 3.0 will occur. Keeping the history of the web in mind, it likely won't just be one quick change. It'll probably take years for websites to start switching over. The first websites to switch over will be the ones that value their users' privacy along with their own privacy. Pro-crypto websites and anti-establishment websites, along with websites that are often censored, will be leading the change. But as Web 3.0 starts to mature, we may see some rather large websites make the change. Platforms like Discord and Reddit have already shown an interest in the new concept and announced that they will start working towards the transition, although they were quite vague about the whole ordeal. The one thing we all have to remember is that Web 3.0 doesn't really exist yet. You can't really transition to something that doesn't even exist. And until we have a solid framework for how it works, websites won't be making the switch for a long time. There are some hints on the transition already happening though. Flux is a platform that has laid down the groundwork for developing applications on Web 3.0. It offers blockchain as a service, but it uses the proof of work consensus mechanism, which is a little outdated when compared to the new proof of stake mechanism. However, it can change the system if there's enough confidence. Flux OS will basically act as an alternative to Amazon's AWS, but unlike AWS, it will be based on a blockchain, so you don't have to worry about it abusing its power somehow. Polkadot, one of the largest cryptocurrencies in the world by market cap, is also set to lead the change to Web 3.0. Polkadot uses a special parachain that makes it extremely simple to develop applications in a scalable way. Each project has a chain that runs parallel to all the others. There's a lot more freedom for the developers, and there's a lot more room for error with these parachains. It's a very recent concept, and only 100 parachains are supported at the moment. But the platform is getting more popular than ever, and soon enough, it'll be the platform on which to develop Web 3.0 apps. Polkadot also takes good care of the projects that are developed on its platform. With over $1 billion in funds, this can be a huge stepping stone for Web 3.0. Conclusion. At the end of the day, does the internet even need to be changed? A lot of people seem to think so. There are simply way too many vulnerabilities in the current system we are all used to, and the fact that the internet has become so decentralized is essentially a ticking time bomb. What we need right now for the transition to truly happen is some major players leading this change. We have big names like Polkadot, but even that is still in its infancy. Eventually, we need to get the general public more aware of the inadequacy of Web 2.0. And once there are enough people that care about change being made, we'll finally be able to make that transition. But eventually, the change will happen. It's almost inevitable at this point. That's a wrap for What is Web 3.0? Do you think we're already in the middle of the transition to Web 3.0? Let us know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.